Hey guys, today we are going to be talking all about the magical charms, and now with them being powerless, what they could be foreshadowing to come in terms of future akumatizations. But as always, before we get into today's video, be sure to subscribe so you never miss the tea on the show you love. Now, let's get into it. So in the new trailer for episode 21, Dearest Family, it's revealed that Gabriel has now discovered how to break the magical charms, ultimately leading them to now be useless in terms of protecting people against akumatizations. And this now opening the door for all those who had originally gotten a magical charm: Fu, Mr. Ramier, Zoe, Chloe, Mayor Bourgeois, Julika, Jagged, Anarka, Audrey, Alec, Roland, and I'd assume Andre and Sabine to now be powerless against Akumas and be akumatized again. And out of the list of people who received a charm, the two that stand out most to me in terms of being re-akumatized again is Chloe and Mr. Ramier. Back in the episode Time Tagger from season 3, Bunnix had gone on to mention future villains Ladybug and Cat Noir would have to face, and one of them being Monsieur Rat, which made the most sense to be Mr. Ramier in the future, considering the foreshadowing of him bonding with a rat towards the end of the episode. However, after the episode Mr. Pigeon 72 came along, this would no longer be a possibility, considering he'd now be protected from all akumatizations, well, temporarily, now opening the door back up for him to be akumatized again, and this time into a new form. And as for Chloe, while she not only is still siding with Shadow Moth, both the end cards of episodes 7 and 8 convinced me even more that this wouldn't be the last of her that we would see in terms of her helping Shadow Moth. As while the end card for episode 7 was likely foreshadowing her akumatization the following episode, but in 8 she had not only still been going the opposite direction from Ladybug, but was also followed up in a purple color scheme. Now, the bigger question is when and how did Gabriel get his hands on a magical charm? Since the beginning of this season, I theorized that if it wasn't for Lila to be used as bait to get a hold of one, it would be Gabriel himself, whether that meant him creating a senti monster or actually akumatizing himself. And looking at the magical charm he's holding, while many assumed it was Mr. Ramier's, keep in mind that Ramier's had green in the center, whereas this one has purple, and the entire color scheme of it is giving me the collector vibes. Another thing I had thought about is that if it were to have been the case that he had gotten the charm in episode 9, Gabriel Agreste, why hadn't he broke the code and or overcome the charms up until now? It's likely he could have been stalling on how to break them, but nonetheless, while the charms are now powerless, it still has me wondering why they were introduced in the first place, only for them to end so soon. This might have been the necessary push needed for Gabriel to realize, just as Ladybug, he too could upgrade his powers. And as for Ladybug, how this was no longer the end, but just the beginning. Like Gabriel had realized how to overcome these charms, I feel Ladybug too will discover what more she can do to protect the Parisians, as in the end, she has the power of creation, and to what extent her powers can take her has yet to be fully discovered. But as always, what do you guys think? As for a recap on all the upcoming episode air dates, next week, Tuesday on October 19th, Dearest Family will air in Portuguese from Gloob at 6:30 p.m. Eastern Time and will air in the English dub on October 23rd. Glaciator 2 is set to air October 24th at 3:35 a.m. Eastern Time from TFOU, and the English dub on November 6th. The English dub of Haxon on November 13th at 12:15 a.m. Eastern Time, and the two most anticipated episodes yet, both which will be in English dub, Gabriel Agreste on November 20th at 12:15 a.m. Eastern Time, and Ephemeral episode 22 on November 27th at 12:15 a.m. Eastern Time. Keep in mind, other channels like Gloob are likely to share some of these episodes earlier, but for now these are the current dates, and below in the description I've left 3 places where you can watch the episodes when they air live. As always, be sure to let me know your thoughts and theories down below, and subscribe so you never miss the tea on the show you love, and I'll see you guys in the next one.